Hey everyone, how's it going? This is like my third, fourth, or fifth, or this is like my 100th attempt at this point recording this video. Hopefully I don't sound too irritated, but I want to make this so that people have an understanding of how to go about using the multi-hustle tool. To go ahead and get started, Aetheriant, I will link his video down below, has kind of gone over a guide on how to go about making the rule sets and all that stuff right here, so you can kind of work around how you want to make your story. You can also learn on your own. It's not hard. Just play with the settings, see what you get a feel for, and if you want them to get hit hard, you want them to get stunned forever, you want your combo limits to be short or long, there's little settings here and there to mess with. Pick whatever you feel is the case. I'm just going to go ahead and pick a couple characters, and one of the biggest things you want to know is that, first off, for the multi-hustle tool, obviously the biggest thing is, hey, you can pick multiple characters. How do you do that? Just pick the first two, like I just did, Vixen, and I picked Miko. As you can see, Miko's loaded right here, and then afterwards, it'll say player 3, go ahead and pick another character that you want. In this case, we'll throw in Archer. It doesn't really matter what colors you pick here, because this color only translates to the following character that was already selected beforehand. So only Miko will be purple and pink. Archer will, I'll say, I would like for be rosy color, but that might not happen, so whatever. I'm only going to do this for right now with 3 characters. You can do it with 4 if you'd like, but you can do it with 5 or 6. I don't know. You can go with a huge number. But I'm going to show you why I would highly recommend against that for the time being. For right now, just work with what you got. So, multi-hustle tool. The next big thing that it makes important is this drop-down menu. What are you doing with this drop-down menu? So, big thing to note is that whatever you put on the top right here, so whoever's in the top drop bar is the one that's going to be attacking. And so you'll see their respective movesets. Vixen's over here, Miko's over here. If you're like, how do I get to look at Archer's, you should then be able to click down here and look at Archer's moveset, and there you go. You can see Archer's slam, you can see the smack, the kick, the whole 9 yards. With that being said, when I usually do these type of things, I stick to like 1v2s, and I usually try to make the second character like a crackhead character. Fallen, Niflheim, Miko, Wrath, Cell. I don't know. There's like a million characters that I think fit the budget, fit the bill of villainous aura or whatever you want to call it. So they work well to just be like the godsend character. So yeah, make do what you will. You get to choose who's the hero. You get to choose who's the villain. So for starters, I'm gonna go ahead and throw these two to like smack each other via this right here. They'll collide and whatnot. And the biggest thing to note is that whenever you want these two to collide, you want their actions to be processed, by the fact they're going to collide, you're going to then lock in for both of these characters. You'll then separately have to go to Archer down here, and let's say you're like, I want Archer to teleport over here or something. And so you might, I don't know, mess around with the settings, and you're like, I'm gonna have I want Archer to appear just behind this or this chick, or you want to have Archer jump in advance and do something. You can play around with the provided options, and now that's kind of the coolness of it all, is you can mess with it as specific as you want. So I'm gonna have Archer jump right here and be right behind. You'll have to then lock in. Now, as you notice, these two have collided. Vix is in the orange. Miko is in the green, so they will be able to attack. And as you notice, you won't see any green, you won't see any orange, so you'll just have to check on their moveset. But Archer's free to do something. So followed up with a slam, followed up with a smack. However, whatever that move is only going to happen after the teleport, because that's how I made it work. So pick and choose how you want to do that. Which also, keep in mind, means you could do some crazy stuff, You could do some really crazy stuff. But you gotta learn how to do it yourself, That's kind of the cool thing, is that this is an invitation to do a lot of crazy stuff with certain characters, but it's gonna take a while. But for right now, I'm just gonna have Archer hold. Miko can't do anything because the clash is still active, more or less, if that's what you want to call it. Vixen, on the other hand, just clash, so they can't do nothing. Now, here we go. Vixen is now available to do something. Miko can attack. We'll just keep it with a simple chop. It's whatever. Not that worried about the moveset for the time being. And then we might follow it up with a drop kick of swords. So I don't know. We'll see what we can get here. We want also the Archer to be facing Miko, which is what we got here. Because again, I'm trying to make a 1v2 scenario. So we're gonna have that happen. So now, as you can see, the fight is slowly starting to build up its way. So, you know, and also keep in mind that these moves fly by at such ridiculous speeds. It is insane to me. Why? In all honesty, I think it's a bit much or how fast they are, but you can determine that if you want. But yeah, I don't know. Let's just say, you know, also Miko isn't aware of the fact that Vixen is Miko's aware of Vixen. Archer went over though, and they're like, oh shoot, didn't know that's where they're going. So now, let's just say they get hit. I'm just gonna play it out like as if Miko doesn't know any better. And oh yeah, sometimes that'll happen. So on top, it just said here, if you want to go back like 5-10 seconds, it just said Vixen, but it was on Archer's moveset. Do you need to fix that? Just click on the character and then click back on the character, and they didn't do anything, so that's super neat. Not sure what's going on with that, but we'll just lock in. Okay. Oh, okay. There you go. Well, you just have to switch the menus then, I guess. Not really sure why that happens. I try to usually keep certain characters in certain spots, but I guess Archer owns this one, and I'll have to rotate between these two over here. So it is as it is. It does get a little congested though, trying to see what every character's followed up with. So now, I don't know. We might, let's say for example, Vixen dashes back a bit to give space for Archer to finish their move. So that's what Vixen will do. That just locked up all the characters' inputs, which are so gang. I think I accidentally clicked right here in the middle, so it's okay. Well, let's see here what it does. We'll just click spacebar. There we go. So click spacebar if they just all kind of get stuck and just move on to the next thing. Vixen is also mid hit, but I guess Archer can continue, if so be it. I'm going to vote that, let me see here, there's a move that you could do with the arrow, but I'm just gonna, honestly, we're just gonna have her wait. She doesn't have to do anything. Miko can't do anything legally speaking. So we'll switch over to Vixen, who I forget I have to go over here for. And he's gonna, let me see if he'll do it. There we go. Yeah, sure. Boom. And keep in mind that they have some multi-hits. So you'd like have to let them, you can sometimes just let them play out. You can also cancel at any point if you want. But I think if you're already midway of hitting, just let it happen. So over here, just press hold and let it continue. Archer doesn't have anything. I guess also be mindful if you need to press both actions before clicking on said character, because it seems to be locking it for Miko or for Archer for whatever reason. But we're gonna play it out. And let's say I want there's a backflip here. Here we go. There's a lot of them. And let's just say we want her to go. Oops. So we like want to low. Nah, it's not gonna go the way. Oh, sorry. This is the aim. The height of the backflip is over here, but you determine how ridiculous you want them to go. I'm trying to find a way that. There you go. See, so like now it's gonna accurately hit just Miko, while Vixen is getting the combo off. So boom, boom. Come over here, and we're just gonna let Vixen finish. And I think in truth, we'll just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And then I think Archer's now gonna finish the shot, so we'll let that happen because gonna have to get hit. Vixen on the other hand, it looks like also every time I lock in with Vixen, it forces the lock-in option for Archer, so maybe just make sure you connect everybody else's hits before you click lock-in on Vixen. That could also just apply to any other given character. That's just for what I'm letting you know as I see it as well. So now, I think it's the other way around. There we go. So now we'll do Ash here so that Vixen moves backwards. Archer is going to follow it up with maybe a dive kick. No, we'll just have a fall. This fight's gonna look a little funky because obviously you'll be like, this doesn't look real, but again, this is the sake of the tutorial. I don't think any Yomi tutorial can honestly be quick enough, but that's my theory at least. So boom, Vixen can't do nothing for the time being. Boom, Miko is stuck yet again. So let's look at what we have for now. All the characters make their entryway, and as you can see, I'm gonna just replay that for you. As you can see, it looks like a normal paced battle to a degree. It's still the tricky part of trying to make things work and whatnot, but you know, this is where things get difficult, is when you try to then determine what characters should do. Because in this setting, you know, I'm trying to think of how to say this properly. Oh man, I have a way to say it, but I don't have a way to say it. Basically keep in mind that because you're already trying to choreograph a fight between 3 whole people, you're trying to account for 3 different characters and trying to make sure that it looks like it makes sense. You could do it where if you want to test out how 1v2 combos could look, you could pick a random character, like one of the basic 4 to just sit in the middle while the other 2 just wombo combo with. But then you have to keep locking in for that 3rd character, so that can get annoying. But yeah, I think this is like a genuine, easy way to get an understanding of how the Yomi multi-hustle tool works. And so I might just have her fall or whatever. Miko literally can't do anything. And Vixen, I guess, only works over here. And I might do that. So now that it connects, Vixen can follow it up with whatever Vixen want to follows it up with. Keep in mind that there's nothing right now that can stop the 2 people from hitting each other. So if they will kick each other, they will kick each other. They will hit each other, whatever the case may be. That's just the problem you have to deal with for the time being. But I think this does a pretty good job at helping one understand what goes on with how to properly use these mods and whatnot. You know, let's say these 2 are so synchronized that they know that Miko's gonna get body bagged in a body bag, okay? Boom, connect, Miko. However, Miko says, yeah, forget all that. Now I'm gonna step into the scene. Archer's don't know why Archer's gonna fly back this way. Sometimes that's just characters are really niche about what they're capable of doing. So let's say, is it this one? Yeah. Let's say Mika said, I am sick of this, homie. Archer's stuck because Archer can't do anything. Vixen's gonna already be flying away. You're like, oh no. I'm gonna say Archer has to land first to make it look natural. Vixen is again stuck because he just got blasted away. And Mika just chased, so she can't do anything. But now she can talk the talk, you know. So this is where you kind of have to just look at the moves, see what each one works with. This is what I usually do, which is the fun part for me, is having to go back and forth and figure out what works. It does take forever though. I mean, this isn't quick, which I would love if there was a fast way to go about this, but you gotta work with what's provided. Shunkan, well, I think that's how you say it, will knock the character down. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to take a minute, I think, to get a genuine feel of what characters are capable of doing. I don't think there's a quick way to handle the process. It is what it is. If I hold, what happens? He's gonna land. That's fine. Yeah, and if you guys wanted to see what this fight would look like fully played out, I could definitely work on it. It would just have to take some time, of course, but I could definitely do it sometime in the next week or so. The last fight with Susano and Broly took like 6-7 hours, maybe more, because it's like a 4-minute fight, and I was trying to be like as super cool and dynamic as possible with it. And yeah, I don't know, they just took forever to get it done. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It took forever to get that stupid thing done. And I think a lot of it just had to do with me trying to make it all look cool and this, that, and the third. So that's just me being honest. But yeah, look, so we got characters flying. We got Miko doing this, that, and the third. Vixen over here is like, oh no, I'm gonna hit somebody. Actually, because of the fact that Vixen will land, Vixen might not have a whole lot of options except to dodge, and do something like that. Sure. And also, see how it hasn't played yet? I already picked the moves for both of them, but you still have to wait for the move to then connect. So I might like leave Vixen to sit there. I might leave Miko to sit there, because now that'll be the next frame, is that right there, that interaction happening. And then Archer will just have to run over, so we can make that happen. I don't usually do Super Dash because Super Dash is weirdly inaccurate. It'll be like, yeah, sure, the character will fly from this side of the screen to over there, but they won't do that. Also, because these drop down menus tend to get really fat, press F1 if you need to hide it to see how the interaction plays out. That's my advice, at least, but you know. Also, all these characters have different ways of playing with their given movesets. I don't really know how to describe how to play with Archer's moveset. I just think Archer has a cool moveset. So yeah, I don't know, that's all I could really tell you. If you liked this video though, I don't know, give me a thumbs up if you wanna. I'm not gonna force nothing on this. This is my attempt at trying to help people understand how the Yomi multi-hustle tool looks. If you want to see the replay real quick, you know, that's basically it. And again, there's no audio just because it's a lot of noise to deal with right now. But yeah, that's kind of the goal, is just having the character interactions be like as genuine as they can be, and trying to figure it out. Again, as you saw in my last video, I was trying to make the fight. That was taking me like 3 or 4 hours already. And then I had a 4-player one that I wanted to do with a 2v2 style, but it takes forever to get figured out. Also, if certain characters are off screen, that is going to be the nature of it. I guess you can adjust to it while playing if you wanted to. But I think it'll just look awkward depending on how you do it. And your mouse would also have to be on the screen as well, unless you want to hide it. Or when you're recording, you can also zoom in. So I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of nitpicky ways to go about that. That's more of just an editor, creator's choice. But yeah, that is the most simple. I think that's the most simple way I can try to describe how this plays. If you have any other questions or concerns, let me know. Make sure you redo the Multihustle mod, because the guy just fixed it, or he's going back and forth fixing it constantly. And make sure you like people's workshop stuff. Let them know that you can give them their feedback. You know, if you feel like Vixen has a broken this, that, and the third, if you feel like Archer needs a blah 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 buff, Miko is doing this, that, and the third, you think this map could look better, let the people know. And not being hateful, unless you are, then don't do that, obviously. But if you have any feedback to provide, just let them know. There's also a YOMIHustle modding Discord, where a lot of times people will tend to showcase or at least announce what they're working on. But if you're like me, you don't care about that too much because you got other things in life to worry about, then just wait till it shows up in the workshop. And if they say work in progress, don't touch it. If they say it's done, then take it. Okay, yeah, I think that's like the longest intro I could provide, or outro. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, let me know. I have more videos planned this week, probably some Street Fighter 6 gameplay, because I kind of want to get some gameplay out there. I've been enjoying the mess out of the beta, so we'll see what we can get recorded today. But yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Be safe and have a good one. Peace.